How you doing here? All right. Well, finally back after lunch and having a little bit more trouble than I expected to have with the. Stop my preview over there. I got the machine, the ASRock back up and running, and there it is. I'm gonna say, didn't tell me that camera went down. The camera 2 went down. It froze on the video, but what it did is it went down. It saved. That's what the stream does. Usually saves the last frame or like a couple of frames of video and just freezes it when your stream goes down. And what happened was my phone, the onboard memory filled up, and that's it's got to have that to for the apps to run. It can't be full, and I keep fighting with that with these things. I admittedly have them a little bit close, but usually I have somewhere around 600. They're only 4 gig on board, but I got 64 megabit SD cards in them. Well, the one that I'm talking on, it's only got 32 gigabyte. Saying the wrong words. 32 gigabytes on this one. The other two have 64. But it doesn't use any of that when you're streaming. It really just uses cache, in the onboard memory. But it doesn't, make if I stream for a long time, it might be 3 or 4 gigabytes. It doesn't hold it all. It just holds it long enough to get the stream out. And then it's actually saved to this hard drive on this machine here, this Lenovo i5. I do that. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I do it as a backup, and I've had to use them before. But I also want the original video in case I want to upload it to another site or something, So anyway, I fiddled around 20, 30 minutes or more on that, getting that on, trying to get that to clean up. They kept sticking in the app that warned you that it's full. It wouldn't let you get out of the stupid thing. Well, I uninstalled an app. Finally, I got around and I moved all my apps that I just don't think need to be on the main, the onboard SD memory to my SD card. But Avast is a pretty big antivirus, and finally I went ahead and moved it. It was the last one that I could move. And there's only one app I can't move. It's a word processing app that came with the phone, and I can't move it. It won't let me. So it's not very big. But anyway, so I got it working, and then I had fiddling around with getting all the video back up and working again. So it's been a lot longer than a normal lunch, but I was working the whole time. So get off my case, boss. I've been busy. It wasn't a long lunch. It was a working lunch. Okay. So got it running. Go to the. Did I turn that on yet? No, I didn't. Okay, let me run in there. I didn't want to turn it on until I did turn it on. I may have already went to sleep. I turn on the printer scanner. I want to try it. Well, I was going to try it on time right quick. I didn't mean to talk so long. I don't have anything in there. I forgot to put something in there. Let's just hit it. I can scan a blank page, but I don't have anything in it or on it. Let's see if we can scan. Let's look up the scanning apps. Because one of the things I thought could possibly happen, I like simple scan. Let's try that. It's quick and easy. It'll tell you if it can't see it. Yep, no scanners detected. So it still can't see it. The IP address is same. Yeah, I'm on the same router. I don't think that should actually matter, since in my daisy chain I can go from the tail end to the forward, but I can't go forward to the tail end. I should be able to get to it anyway, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that for this scanning, printing and scanning. Now could have even trying to forward ports on. I may better look into that. I could have screwed everything up trying to fix it the other day. But first I want to see. Okay, I'm going to go into, where is that saying? That's the one that that's the wrong application. What did I just try to open up? ZenMap. Network scanner. I don't want to run that. Okay, good. I was afraid it was going to hang me up. Sometimes when it asks you for root privileges, if you can't just hit cancel without it, I'll keep fighting with you to try to get you to do it. Sometimes. Maybe that's in mate. Okay, Xane or Zane, but it doesn't have a Z on the front. It has an X, so I'm going to say the X. Pardon me. If you don't want me to say the X, don't put an X in it. Okay. Because it is a proper name. You could pick and choose, you know, the way you wish. Okay. Proper noun, isn't that what you call it? The name is a proper noun. Cannot talk to the scanner. Okay. When I was looking back on my video, and I'll go over here and show. Let's see. I don't think I found anything to help. Well, I did find one thing, so let's go in there. I went ahead and made screenshots of the video so that I could maybe show it, and just to help give me something to look back, you know, because I can't get to that without re-downloading the app. But what I did was, okay, that's when I finished installing iScan. Sorry, I get a drink. I finished installing. I just realized iScan that I downloaded and installed. I installed a group of apps, and I didn't really know what I was going to be getting until I installed them. I installed that at the beginning in the Fedora repos. I think it said it was a generic version or something. And this one, I guess it is too, really. But it's installed iScan data, and iScan network. That makes the network scanning work. So go ahead and make it full screen. Now, before I put my mouse right by the things that I was wanting to. Let's go back. Let's go this way. Is it moving? There we go. Must have done one. Oh, more. Oh, I did more than one screenshot because my mouse wasn't where I wanted it to be, or I didn't think it was. Okay, now. All right. Now, when you run, of course, you have to have root privileges, and they tell you. Let's see. Okay, here it is, right here. Yeah, that pointer's down there, but the icon's up there. I don't know what happened. But anyway, while the install sh script is expected to work as intended in the vast majority of the scenarios, that might not work as intended for you. No kidding. If that is the case, of course, I don't know. I may have some other problems. I could have conflicts with things I already had installed in there. But I didn't have any conflict messages. Please pay attention to the error messages in the output that is produced. That should help you find your way work around by yourself in the list below. Okay, no permission privileges to install. This is likely, okay, so if you don't have root privileges or using sudo or su, then I'm saying RSU because that's the way I've always done it, and it works perfectly in Fedora now. In Debian and Ubuntu, liable to not, well, Ubuntu won't let you use anything but sudo a lot. It makes it really hard sometimes because then you can't. Sudo is sudo root privileges, not full root privileges. So there's a lot of things you still can't do. And so sometimes you just can't do the work you need to do. And so that's why I don't like it. Okay, so of course it's supposedly supposed to protect you, but really it doesn't. There's plenty of ways to break your system with sudo privileges. And I forgot what SU stands for, but they are different. And I know from practice all these years, if you type SU and put in the right password, you can do anything the root user can do. I don't remember anything that wouldn't let me do. Yeah, it can be dangerous, so be careful. Okay. Why is it? Oh, I guess the reason is I'm not talking until I get on the mic, doing the video. Hang on. I guess I didn't think I really needed a cough drop or anything. I wasn't coughing really much at all. Let me get a cough drop. And back to what I was trying to say. I can't even talk now. I can't remember. I think if I took another. Oh, I did take one right after my lunch, or at the beginning of my lunch. I took another one of those cold pills. so it should have already done its job by now. Okay. Now I'll be smacking my cough drop. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, you need the root privileges. And what I was trying to get to, okay, it will fail if you don't have it. Tells you what to do if you don't want network, but I do. That's what I'm trying. Only way I'm trying to use this thing. Okay, now note, however, there may be distributions. However, that may be distributions disable. I didn't even notice that before. However, there may be distributions which disable root logins these days, and instead set up the first user account created during the initial installation, probably because I can't read, so that it can obtain root privileges. And I thought about that, and I've run into that. I don't remember. I don't install a bunch of apps. I don't install apps in any name but mine most of the time, and that would be the first user. Almost every system I build. So I'm the first user on this system. I hadn't even planned on her using it when I set it up. So and it's the only one but it says during initial installation, so that it can obtain root status via sudo. Now I just went into all my ins and outs about sudo and su. If that is not your account, usually you can't SU in that account. That's what I've run into, at least with, I think it was Ubuntu. I don't think you can at all in Ubuntu. I can't remember. If that is not your account, get the owner of that account, install the bundle. So, there you go. That's what I was trying to get to. I just didn't know where it was in there. And so, I think what I may do, well, I'm going to look in the package manager and stuff, and I may run this script again, and it should be, it may say, since it's already installed, it may give you the chance to say, do you want to uninstall it? And I'll do that, start over, because I might end up with all kinds of conflicts if I just try to do it again in my account. So then what's the next thing? Okay, and then I remember up here, small chance. And that's just right where I was. Okay, there's a small chance that the scanner bundle requires other software to be installed that conflicts with software you have already installed. Before you can install the scanner bundle, well, I didn't run into that with these packages when I installed them. You'll need to fix the conflicts. They say, well, we'll just delete the stuff on your system, and then install this. Well, heck no. I've got that stuff on there because I want it most of it. Okay. If it's going to be a pick one or the other, I'll pick the ones I put on my system because I needed them. In other words, they're really not going to work very hard to play nice with the rest of the open source community, because they're not really they're not open source software writers. They're printer and scanner manufacturers, and they're just doing this because there's so much demand for it these days. I mean, some of them might be really into it. I don't know each individual company. I do know that HP, as long as I've been on Linux since 2005, has always been really good about making everything work just by clicking a few, few buttons in a wizard. I don't think I've ever, since all the way back then, ever had to go to a manufacturer website and download any drivers, which wasn't unusual with Windows, but with Linux, it was one of the things I really learned to love real quick until you get a different brand of printer. I'm not sure. Only ones I've tried is HP Brother, which is a real bear to get working, and Epson, and it's the second bear. It's not wasn't as bad originally, and I imagine that I am somehow some kind of little ins and outs that I learned that I don't remember now. Okay, the script assumes you have one of the common higher level package managers. Yeah, for the RPM domain package installed. It also assumes that the binary packages in the bundle are in package format that your distribution expects. In the unlikely case that no supported manager, and that's, the RPMs I tried to install kept giving errors. Now I'm thinking, well, now hopefully that was because I was in her screen name. Maybe I get in mine and they'll run. But it's also really confusing, and it usually is on these proprietary drivers from the manufacturers. That's why if there's an open source driver, I always go for it first, because then it's automatically updated. That's the big other thing, is it's automatically updated. You don't have to fiddle with it. You're going to have to go and manually update these most of the time, unless they really do have an open source driver and they're working with, Fedora. Sometimes they do. And they did have the printing driver in there, so they evidently are with that. Okay, so it's unlikely. You can still install manually using the low-level package managers, RPM or dpackage. First run, install sh-run, and then that's where I stopped. And I didn't, in my video, I didn't read any further down the page. So if I want to read this again, I have to download that package again. Whoops, wasn't what I meant to do. Can't remember how to get back there now. I'll just close it. And when I open from the file manager, it always goes where I want it anyway. So I always keep this Crusader in so I can just look up here and see that my file, that's my backup video, and make sure it's still working. Now, scanner, I thought to say I'll try it on my machine now since it's not working anyway, but there's no, and make sure it doesn't. I don't think it'll stay awake. I mean, I could scan something and it might stay awake for a while, but I'm not even going to do that all this time, just in case it does cause a confliction, because it's obvious that it should be able to see it, and that there's probably, I mean, it's not giving me an error message to tell me what's going on. That's the thing that's really frustrating. But error messages can really help you fix stuff. Let's see. I don't believe there's any scanner setup that I can do. I'll look again more slowly and carefully. And yeah, I want to go look. First, I'll go look in DNF and see what all's in there for that scanner stuff. I want a yum extender. Okay. Now while that's coming up, my preview laptop went to sleep. Let's wake it up and check our preview. And I'm not going to spend hours and hours this time. If I can't get it, like I said, she really doesn't even know how to use it. She couldn't really do it by herself anyway. So, and if it was really important that she scan, I could always, since it's in there right next to the computer, I could plug her up with a USB cable, and I imagine it would work. Unless the scanner drivers are just not installed enough for it to even scan at all. All it's saying is it can't find the scanner. It's not saying I don't have the right drivers or anything like that. Of course, I don't know. I'm not getting that much of an error message either. Okay. Okay, so yeah. I'm looking at one thing over here. And another thing over there. There we go. We finally caught up to where I'm at. Okay. Still, yeah, there we go. I think my volume's back down on the laptop. I can't really hear it. Oh, I don't think I paused it. Paused it with the sound on, but there's updates like galore today. Makes you hope that I don't think I'll do the updates. Let's see, I did my updates in her username, didn't I? Or did I do it in mine? I'll do them in my own username this time. Let's see what's in there though, in case it's got anything to do with scanning. SSD. It's not really that many updates, I don't think, but okay. I'll open this up for them. Now let's just see what. No, let's see what's installed and what's not installed. I'm looking for that iScan right now. I'm just kind of skipping through fast. Not too far. There. Okay, now here's image scan network plugin. Image scan for Linux data files. Simple, easy use scanner utility, which I don't believe even works. Ever did. And here's the one I installed and then took back out. Following Epson scanners. Let's see, what is mine? 645, I guess, even though it's not just... Oh. Well, we're going to have to look through it. Can't search in there. Probably wasn't the right one. I'm kind of starting to guess here. If there's a 645 in there, I don't see it. But I am not good at looking through lists like that. So probably, I mean, it's not installed on my machine and mine works. So that was the other reason why I took that out. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run that command again and see what happens. And then if it says uninstall, I think I will uninstall it. See if that makes it run. Well, let me look in my machine. I don't have anything to do with iScan on my machine, I don't think. Let me look and see. That might give me a clue. Get my password out. That's ever since I changed to this new harder password for on purpose, it's harder. Sometimes I start to call out the password. I'm supposed to calling out what I'm doing. I don't think that'd be a good idea, though. Okay. Now then, search for scan. Maybe once I get rid of this cough drop, I won't be so... I'm afraid I'm really making lots of noise. If my distributions were closer together, it'd be real helpful. A lot more helpful. Look and see what's on mine and what's on the other one. But since 23 to 26 is pretty far, so it can be you know, things change. Okay, iKey scan, fingerprint scanner. Oh yeah. Okay, iScan firmware. I don't have any iScan firmware installed. So I think what I'm using is sane backends. I think that's what I'm using. There's some sane. See, that's KF5 libsane. I don't have everything sane, so I don't see how. I don't see me finding all those libsanes and everything all by myself. That's actually for HP though. Let's see if there's some sane Epson. Nope, there is not. You think that even though they say HP, they're still making it work? I just never didn't know it. KDE sane service. Let's just go by what I have installed. Be a little bit better. Okay, now. This is what I have installed. Not all that much out of all what showed up in that other. Some of that I don't think has anything to do with scanning though, like that Zenity and a couple of those. I don't quite know how I arrived at those. I'm almost certain I didn't do it by myself, all on my own. Epson inkjet printer. Now I know I remember checking and I have that. And then Guten Print, I guess. I think it must be some German programmers there, you think? Good print? Guten printer? I think that's what Guten means. It's good. How did I learn? I've been watching lots of videos. And I think I saw some German people building. Well, I see electronics guys. Boy, there's one guy that's so good of a teacher, and he's German. He's in English. I don't understand anything but English languages. I guess that's obvious. I barely understand that, right? Okay. Yeah. I don't. Let's go look up Epson over here, and I think. Let's see, scan. Let's see what I have in the way of scan installed. Okay, of course, there's all the clam AV and everything else under the sun. iScan. There's all the iScans that I don't even need on my machine to scan stuff from that printer scanner. Same back ends. Graphical memory scanner. Doesn't seem to be near as many sane in there. Maybe this is cameras, scanners. Okay, now there was something else while I was going through that install process though. I ran a command that it told me to run that installed a whole bunch of stuff. Xane GIMP. Okay, so let's see what's in here under Epson. Yeah, I've had this happen more than once. You install the proprietary stuff and it won't work, and it even conflicts with what you've got on there. And just use a few basic proprietary open source drivers, and it works fine. There's the printer. Guten print cups. Yep. iScan. Now I can just uninstall those like that. Wonder if I should do it that way. Well, let's try it on the script first, and if it doesn't even have that capability, because I'm thinking maybe it will clean it up better than me trying to do it. There may be other things, and we'll see. Kind of one thing when you uninstall stuff though in the GUI here, it'll say this is also going to uninstall these things, these dependencies that probably aren't used by other apps, but they might be. And sometimes if you go ahead and do it, you break something you really like. So it's kind of tough. But let's just say we're going to try it. I need that. Okay, yeah, I need the command. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and go full screen here so I won't get confused about where to click. And now I'm on her machine on the remote desktop on the ASRock. And yeah, I have a folder in the home directory. I really got to figure out how to get rid of those extra things. Drive me crazy. Okay. Thought I put it. Didn't put it over here in the home directory. Did I install it? Yeah, I installed it from the downloads. Now that can sometimes cause a problem if it's looking back to any of this. It can't find the what it needs. Of course, this is an install. This is not supposed to be like you run from it. This is like if I was say if I was running an app in say in portable mode like Firefox and Thunderbird like I do. Well, they're only going to work. They could work okay from the downloads or some other folder, but the best chance you got of something like that working is putting it in your home directory. But this is not an unzip and just run it. This is an install. So here it is. So I'm just going to copy that so I won't have to retype all that. And we're opening up our terminal right here. Go ahead and make it smaller so I can see. Can't get a hold of the side there. Oh, that was weird. It's always hard to do that when you're in remote desktop. Okay, now // oh, we gotta get sudo authentication failure. Thought I remembered it. Oh. Okay. Oh. I don't have it all in there, just the name. Let's see if it says this is already installed. Do you want to uninstall it or whatever? Okay, already installed, skipping, complete, nothing to do. So if I want those uninstalled, I'm going to have to do that myself. Okay. In the package manager, which usually, it usually works. So I'm going to look at that backup folder. It hasn't done what I thought. My backups are not running. I don't have any new folders in there. My lucky backup. That's something I'll look into later. But yeah, just leave it right there. That'll maybe remind me. I didn't think I'd ever seen it running, but I should have documents and so on and so on. Maybe they're not running because it'll, because of where it's at. We'll see. Okay. I want to go ahead and get back into I'm sure the scanner will be completely asleep. Oh yeah, I forgot about those updates. Okay. Oh. I think if I search for Epson, I think I'll find it right away. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna uninstall iScan. Thought there was more than one of those. 3. I thought there was more than 2 of those. I thought there was 3. We got iScan network and iScan. Let's look up for iScan now, or just scan. It should be easy to find the spot with those. I've checked them in the big red X's, big red circles with the X in the middle. I'm gonna uninstall them from her name, and then go from there, and then all my work from now on getting this to work, I'll do in my name. Yeah, there is another one, iScan Data. I thought so. Guess it just doesn't have Epson in it anywhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll do all my installing and everything from. Since I installed it with hers, I'm going to uninstall it with hers, and then I really don't think it matters, but I can't swear to it, so let's look and see though. If it's going to uninstall a whole bunch of other stuff, then I may be a little more worried, because I won't know what it go, where to go get it again or anything. Okay, good. That's all it's just going to do is those three things. Very good. Oh, I hit screenshot. I hit the screen. I hit print screen, and that's just going to put it on my machine. But I like to put the screenshots on the machine I'm working on. But that'll be good enough for now. I'm not going to worry about it that much. Okay. Well, I don't like having to retype the password in every move I make. I don't know if that's just what. Well, it's obviously one of the big difference between XFCE and Mate, but and XFCE is harder for me to figure out where to go change settings. So I know you can turn that feature on and off. I like it to just keep the elevated privileges until you log out, because I've never had any mishaps doing that. And like I said, there's nobody else around here to walk up to my machine and mess with it. So if I had sharing it with somebody, then yeah, I wouldn't want to leave it elevated privileges and them accidentally mess something up. So and if I was sharing it, I would do like we used to do with Windows. We'd have 3 users on the same machine. And you definitely can put as many users as you want on a Linux machine too. Alright, so I guess it's a good time to check my stream. YouTube's got this thing going with the chat. Of course, I don't ever remember to look at it hardly. But even when I do, like right now, nobody's ever talking to me. So, but it has called Top Chat. Some messages, such as potential spam and so won't be shown, and then live chat is everything. So I don't know. Somebody might have tried to talk to me and can't even, I would never know it. So I try to remember to switch it to. I don't see a way to just permanently switch it to live chat. All right, that's done. No problems. Got those updates. I'll probably end up needing to do them just to make sure that it works. I think when I log out, when I log out and go back to the other username, it breaks the team viewer, and I think it even kind of gave me a little hiccup with it too. So what happened? Did I accidentally? Oh, I closed the old window or something. That's not what I meant to do. Exactly the opposite of what I meant to do. I was going to close TeamViewer down properly over there and then change. But let me get over here. I guess I'll just use the camera until I get done. Let me switch. Okay. Well, I guess I just closed the window over there. Come on. Wake up. I have to switch back and forth. Yeah, this is what I'm always talking about. If you're not seeing what I'm doing, now you're seeing what I'm doing. I'm having to switch back to one that I know that will work. It's working. And switch back over here, and sometimes it's the KVM switch. I finally don't have the mic. I finally figured out it's the KVM switch that's acting up. Sorry, I was jabbering away thinking I forgot I wasn't at the mic. but it's not catching on right on number one sometimes. But if the only way I've seen to figured out to fix something like that with it is to go over to one of the other machines that's working and then go back to it. So we'll get back over. We'll get on my server. See, it's been asleep for a while. Not well. I mean, it's not completely asleep, but the display was asleep. And I don't have trouble with that one. It's just number one. There we go. Finally. It's just the first one that does that. I don't know why. Okay, so now I'm going to log out. And then, in this case, normally I always restart or shut down. But I just need to log out. See, it doesn't, it goes, well, I don't know if this must be different. No, there we go. Okay, it worked, but it goes and shows you some terminal window there for a minute first. So I'm going to go to my username. I want to see, what do I have? I've only got 2 desktops on here, XFCE and Sugar. Now, that was one thing I was thinking about. Maybe it works because in Mate easily, but not in XFCE. Sugar, I don't remember. I just thought it's supposed to be lightweight, and I thought I might try it out. But I think I've looked at it, and I remember I don't think I really cared for it much. But maybe I need to install Mate Desktop to get things working. I had forgotten about that idea. Okay. Got to look at the passwords for everything here. Okay. I'll go ahead and get it logged in and then look at, got a list. Well, I don't need my list of things to do yet. Not until I get past this or give up on it, one or the other. There we go. Well, I do have those updates. I'd kind of like to just postpone those. Sorry, my mic's starting to sag there. But when you got something that's not working, maybe the update will fix it. Even if you don't think you see something related. I do know that there's things. I ran into it and I've read about it. There we go. That I think we're going to have a different password. Okay. Now let me get back again. Okay. Got to delete that one that's in there now. Because it saved the one from before. Okay. Okay, now. Oops. You can get to Yum Extender just like that, too. That's almost faster than searching, isn't it? Such a short list there. Glasses are always looking dirty. Okay. I think what I ought to do. Well, let's look at this. I want to look at the sane stuff. Oh, scanner. Yeah, scanner. Let's look at sane first. There's a KDE Sane library that I had on my, but I have KDE installed on that other system too, though. KDE Sane service. Now that might be something that would make it end up making it work. libk Sane. Usually you can get all those by just installing like the mother father package of all that stuff, you know, the thing that these are dependencies for. Sane backends. I don't have sane backends on here. These things will not stay spread out where I can read everything. Even just not having a space in between them makes it hard to read for me. Okay, static version. I'm trying to figure out why there's two of them right next to each other like that. Ming W64 Sane backends. 1025. It looks just like the identical thing to me. One's a little bigger than the other. Static. One of them's called static. Okay. Universal scanner interface. I'm going to try it. Because that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. That may be exactly what I'm using. Maybe I don't have it all. Even though I have the little Xane app, I don't have the back ends. I do remember that rings a bell, like sane backends. Remember once upon a time when you installed that? Well, let's just see. But I may have to, maybe that's how I end up doing it, picking and choosing the stuff that I had learned over the years. Like I've known for years that's the only way you used to could do it, was with the sane back ends and all the other stuff. And the front ends are so you can control it, you know. I think maybe I'll try that one and see what all gets installed. Sane back. There's another one that's sane backends. What's the difference in it? Oh, something else. Ming W64. A whole different thing. See, I have a button. Now here's down where the ones I have. Toolkit. I don't need a development toolkit though. I think I have that one on my system, but I don't see why that would make it work or not work. What's that? Oh, that's a different Python library to access and use image scanners. I don't have that. That's no art. Sometimes you have to go with no art, no architecture. You know, it doesn't matter if it's 32-bit, 64-bit. But it may get that just by installing sane backends. I think since I'm having so much trouble, Python, yeah, okay. Again, they look so similar, I don't see the difference. That one's bigger. Oh, updates, huh? I'm going to try, actually, it doesn't hurt if it's a dependency, but if I'll forget, you know, may not ever catch it again. If it's a dependency, it'll just go ahead and install it. It'll be fine. But if it's a conflict, then you're going to have to take it back, one of them back out. You got to figure it out. That's why you don't want to just click. I used to do that when I was learning. I'd just click everything under the same type of thing, you know, all of it. Maybe I would pay attention to, well, back then, this was before 64-bit. Everything was 32-bit. Maybe there was some old 16-bit software back then, but not much in Linux. In Windows there was. Stuff from Windows 3.1 would run on 98 and sometimes XP. I think that was 16-bit. It might have been some DOS stuff that was 16-bit. I don't know. Don't remember. Scanner software. Now see, that's installed, but these are not like. Well, I can't swear to that I have I don't remember. I was looking through it, but I can't swear to what I actually have and don't. Just saw, kind of. One thing was going fast, and the other thing, even if I was trying my best, I would have a very hard time remembering it for very long. Skinner Network daemon. Oh. 64-bit. No, there's not. There's not another one that I see. Scanner Network daemon. This is what I need, maybe. You think? Scanner Network daemon. It's not a demon. It's a daemon. Demon is D-A-E-M-O-N. Daemon. Demon is D-E-M-O-N or something like that. Yeah, I've seen people calling it, so-and-so demon. Saw a video like that the other day, and the guy was a guy, and he really was going, knew what he was doing with the software, but it was just kind of funny hearing him say that over and over. At first, I didn't notice it, and when I caught myself doing it, I was like, oh. I thought, why are they calling it demon? I mean, what's the point in that? Finally, I realized, oh, it's not demon, it's daemon. Well, I was reading, maybe I heard it maybe I learned it in a video, I don't remember, but somehow I learned it. The difference between daemon and demon. And I knew a guy named Damon, and his real name was Damon. And back when I was doing sound for Christian rock concerts, and he was really into punk, and he had a punk hairdo and all that stuff, and he loved them. He would monitor the mosh pit and make sure nobody got hurt. And the pastor, he would call him Demon instead of Damon on purpose. One day I said, well, why are you calling him that? He said, because he is a demon. I said, he is not. I said, maybe he used to be, but not anymore. Well, it was funny to us, or to me. Maybe it was funny to me and no one else. Same development toolkit. Devel. Okay, we don't really need the documentation. Could be helpful, perhaps. Since I'm having trouble, I'll go ahead and get it. Digital cameras, I don't, sometimes when you install, like I said, I installed all the apps that would work from the scripts I made from my machine, but if there was some little, like FC so-and-so in there that was different, and it was, like maybe it said FC23 and it wasn't anything, I'll try to figure out a way to get rid of all that in my script, but I don't think I tried it this time. I kept thinking I need to try that because maybe it couldn't install because it was too old. Sometimes you can go ahead and install it and then it will just get updated. But if between 23 and 26 is pretty far, so there could be no telling what that didn't get installed. So maybe I need to go try to make a new strip and clean it up. I remember, I think I remember I only had like a little 5 apps that didn't install. I don't know what they were. But at the end, it showed me, it shows you what didn't work. Stop jabbering and keep looking. Scan light. I don't need another GUI for scanning though. I know the ones that I like. They're Xane and Simple Scan is the ones I like. Xane lets you change all the settings you want to. If you want a high quality, 300 dpi, for instance, is what I leave it set on. Then Simple Scan will do just, like 100 dpi or something, but I don't even know if you can change it. And of course, that uses a lot less disk space, but it'll just scan them real quick and fast for you. And it will do everything in a sheet feeder, and Xane won't do that. Okay. I think instead of I started to go back through the whole thing again, but I think instead of doing that, well, let's go kind of from the top because I might have skipped some up here. Oh yeah, KDE. I don't have KDE on here, so I'm not going to install anything to do with KDE that I don't need. I have to have some KDE apps to get Crusader to run, but that's already on here. And I don't think that would have anything to do with making or breaking that warranty. There's those HP scanners, ones that I have on my machine, but that was because I had an HP scanner. Well, I have an HP scanner that works that I use. That's right. I was thinking the other day, I was telling about the one I had that was a multi-purpose machine that only the scanner worked. It was a scanner fax, I mean a scanner printer. But I took that out here because I have a big scanner, bigger. It'll do legal paper and everything, and it'll do photo negatives too. It's a little older than that one was, but this one works great. Lasts a long time. Made screensaver. I don't know what that's got to do with scanning, but maybe scanning for, well, you might be able to turn on a virus scanner in it if you had one that could do that. Avast used to make one for Linux, but they quit doing it. It was buggy and it crashed too much. They never did work hard enough on it. Ming GW, 32-bit. This is, okay, now that's where I started with things that I really thought could be helpful. So let's just see. Let's change the view. Oh no, I can't change the view to what I'm going to be installing. I think I can do this without doing any updates. Yeah, I'm in my username. Okay, let's just do it and see what we get. Okay, we're going to do Ming, Python, scene backends. So far we haven't got any. Couple more things to do with the Ming W64. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Saint backends. What about the maybe that was it. One of them is the network. And that's one I'm the most hopeful about. Might have been that one that I went on talking about, on and on talking about it. Might be. Okay, so I'll do a screenshot on my machine again. It's alright, as long as I can. I may, like today I may remember it, and tomorrow I probably won't remember where it's at, but oh well. I'll run across it and say, think I did it on my machine. Unless I pay attention, maybe I'll notice the XFCE, and if I notice this, I'll notice, oh, that's remote desktop. I've done that before. No, say, oh, that wasn't on my machine. Okay. Let that run, and yeah, I need to get up here. I've taken some of those screenshots. Only two, but just this app running uses too much memory. I like it. It's my favorite, and I keep using it. Well, even worse than that, you can close it. You can close those thumbnails, or they're not thumbnails. They're full screenshots. You need to close those to keep from using up your memory, and then and I always just close the app. But while I'm doing my desktop screencasts and I'm running so much stuff, see, OBS is sitting right there at 22% to 25. I saw it jumping up to 45 when I was in my scene switches today. So you just need to watch your usage on a machine like this. Only a quad core with 4 gig of RAM. It could do it fine for hours, but you better not run everything under the sun. Applying system changes. Okay. And if this machine slows down, the ASRock starts running bad again today, then what I'll do, I can't actually show it. Well, I mean, I could move the camera over here and put it on the screen, but you wouldn't be able to read it. But I want to look in the BIOS and see. I've checked the voltages a couple of times when I first booted up, and they all look good. They look like they should be. That's the best way I have to check the voltages on the machine, is to use the BIOS voltage check. It is one nice thing about, on Windows. Windows operating system has all those different apps to monitor that stuff all the time if you want, for overclockers, the OC tools and stuff. ASRock has one, I think it's called OC tools or something, and it's kind of cool. But actually, they use up too much resources, and one of those, there's a bunch of them they have, one for the video and everything else, but one of them was kind of buggy and crashy. But, they don't make anything like that for Linux, so best thing I can do is just go into BIOS and look. So if it's running poorly and slow, then if I can remember, I'll go into BIOS and look at it then and see if there's any voltage drops or anything. Just because the voltages are good still doesn't mean that the amperages are there. That you would need either, actually you can buy special power supply testers. You just plug in the cables to them and turn them on, which would be really nice to have. Or if you're really good with your multimeter, and you understand all of it, all the principles on how to check everything, then you can do it that way. And I'm not that good, really, not for power supplies. Really, I'm really just, I got a good handle on voltage, but not on amperage and how to, how to check it. You know, to me, I still don't quite get it. Like, so let's say you want to check high amperage, you know. Well, you can't run high amperage through those little bitty test leads, but yet you have to put it in circuit, you know, to test it. So I don't know. To me, it just seems to only be good for really low amperage, you know, like even milliamps and stuff with just your average voltage meter. Okay, the average multimeter. We're done. All right. Now I'm not going to do any updates or anything. I'm going to try the scanner. I'll just try it once before I run in there and see if that thing's awake. If it comes up, cool. But it's probably went to sleep completely. And I'll have to go turn it on and make sure it's on before I can decide that it's going to work. No device. Okay, so let me go turn it on. I actually kind of need a break. I'm probably going to have to do it. Tell you what, I hate to do it this way, but I can't think of any other way to do it. Let me do that first, and then I'll figure out how to do my break. Okay. Let me just run in there and do it. All right. Whoops. Knocking papers off. Yeah, still not completely situated in my chair. Okay, the scanner printer, when it goes to sleep, it won't wake up. Or I don't know how to wake it up without turning it completely off and completely back on. It goes through all of its shutdown and startup sequence and all that. No devices available. Okay. Now, I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought maybe I'd figured it out. I don't think opening any of the other scanning apps. Oh yeah, now the other one's gone. But it won't hurt to open them both up. The other one's gone now because I uninstalled it. Yeah, see, you can switch over and say all pages from a feeder or a single page. I went ahead and put something on the glass. Let's look in the preferences. Oh yeah, there it is. You can just set your preference. Oh, source, but you can't select anything. Okay, So you can select your source in there, but not if there's nothing that it sees. Okay. Oh, text is 150, photo is 300. That was the defaults. Automatic page size. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can email and print from right there if you want it. It's a pretty cool little app. Pretty simple. Simple. It really is simple. I'm gonna go into. Oh yeah, Zane Xzane won't even open up. Let's see what other sane stuff there might be. Settings manager. All this other stuff that when I type in sane, I find these other things that don't seem to be very related at all. But I was talking about screenshots. The standard, well, the genome screenshots tool, I don't know what that one is, but it will open up a job or a process, I'm sorry, every time you do a screenshot, and it will not close it. You cannot even force close them. And it will just sit there eating up your memory. And if you do a bunch like I do, you'll next thing you know, your machine's crawling. That's a weird thing. It's been that way for years. Many distribution changes have never been fixed. I even tried getting the system manager opened up in root privileges and still couldn't kill it. But I'm looking for stuff to do with sane. Like if there's some sane settings or something. I remember that once I got the right stuff installed, it just worked. I do remember that. I do not think I remember ever having to go change some arbitrary setting somewhere. Okay, now run Xzane. Okay, settings manager, task manager, release notes. Let's go to settings manager and just see if there's something in there. Look through it and then I'll search for Xzane. I don't know. I've looked in here I don't know how many times. Okay. Nothing comes up. Yeah, you see, isn't that screensaver? See, now why does that come up in the search results? There's not anything to do with scanning in there either. Okay. Okay, let's look in hardware lister. I don't know that. I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe. Well, I don't think you're going to see a network scanner in there, even if it was seeing it. I'm getting to where I'm going to have to take a break, so I'm debating, should I just end this stream and then start another one? Probably. It's already an hour long. I guess that'd be the best thing to do. Reload this, make sure I am even streaming like I think I am. We did my preview over there. Or maybe this does take a little while to, bring in everything, this LSHW hardware lister. Maybe I'll take my break now and then come back and show what it's got. I think that's what I'll do, because I'll put it off as long as I can having my break. So I'll just leave everything as it is and do that. All right, I'm going to go, and I'll come back in a little while. All right.